Hi guys, it's Philip G once again here with another video. Just to let you know, this is my review on the Xbox One and my experiences of having it for quite a long time now. I've had the Xbox One for about 2 to 3 months now, and I will tell you my review. So let's get started. The Xbox One, it's a very powerful system for, its predecessors. It's very, very good in many ways actually. It's generally built well. It's got cool vents, inside and every side, around the sides. A massive fan in the middle. So the system's always quite cool. That's always a pro for Xbox, especially with the Xbox One. Anyway, I don't know about the 360, but the Xbox One's especially quite cool. So it doesn't overheat very much, which was really good because the 360 overheated all the time and had the ring of death and all that. Yeah. But generally, it's a really, really good system. I like that they've added Blu-ray. Thank God that they've done that because 360 kind of sucked without Blu-ray and made me like want to turn to the PS3, PS4 kind of side. So yeah, I'm glad that they added that in. And generally it's a good system in general. Like I've loved playing on the Xbox One. If there's any criticisms I do have on it, and actually a lot of people have said that it looks really, really bad, it's not actually that it looks bad for me, it's just the fact that it's really, really big. I wish that it was the same size as the PS4. Now I don't own one of them yet, but I will be owning one in about a week's time from now. So I will do a review on that, or I might wait a couple of months then review it. Then I've got a better understanding of what I'm talking about. So yeah, but generally I've enjoyed playing the Xbox One. Now moving on to the controller. It's mine was a little bit dirty actually, but generally it's a nice controller. It's got a really, really good feel to it. Like the buttons are really clunky, and they're very ready to go kind of thing, if that makes any sense at all. Definitely these are really, really smooth. They have a lot of grip around your finger, especially when you're playing hardcore games like Call of Duty or Battlefield, say. You've got a lot of grip on these. And it's really good if you're playing like sensitivity games where you need to max up the sensitivity but still have that grip kind of feel while you're playing. So I mean, that's really good. The battery life, if there's any criticisms I've ever had about the battery life, is the battery life to me, and now this is just personal preference, isn't long enough for me. But then I've got a charging kit that I put in the back there, and you can obviously play on, and so forth. So I guess it's not actually too bad if you go out and buy one of them, but if not, you're stuck with AA batteries, and that can cost a lot of money when you're thinking of doing that. Another criticism I have about the console is it comes with the fucking annoying, sorry, excuse me my language, but a fucking annoying block that they had in the 360, which is just shit and does my head in. Like, it consumes so much space, it even like makes a noise, and it's just, I don't know, generally just gets in the fucking way. So yeah, if I turn the console round, hold on, bear with me, if I just move this around. You'll see that on the back there is a HDMI out and a HDMI in port. And obviously you've got your, power button, and you've got your Kinect, which goes in there. So that's obviously good. And also around the side you have another USB slot, but then you also have two here. Right there, so you have three in total, which is good. I mean, the one around the side's mainly just good if you want to, have the charging thing in and so forth. Now, when I got the Xbox One, one thing that I did and didn't like was it came with this cheap little headset thing, and I've got a better one since then, but it came with, a kind of cheap standard, bog standard thing that comes in the box, which you would expect anyway, because they did that with 360 and they've done that ever since. But generally, I don't like the earphone. I think that it's quite uncomfortable on your ears. I really recommend Turtle Beach, and I'm not sponsored by any company, so this is just personal preferences. That generally I think that it hurts because obviously there's only one side to your ear, and PS4 did that as well, where they included in the box like one little bud, and I guess that just really I don't like that idea myself. I think that even if they up the price of the console with a decent pair of earphones in, then that would definitely be worthwhile. Now, moving on, I am going to be talking about the games that I have played, and I've downloaded quite a few games as well, so such as Call of Duty, Advanced Warfare, and stuff like that. So I'm not going to be reviewing every individual game, but I'll tell you the ones that I have bought, necessarily ones that I played, because I bought quite a few Xbox One games. I probably bought about 25 and so forth. So the ones that I've actually got on disc though is Far Cry 4, the limited edition. I certainly loved that game. These are the games that I'm recommending because I bought them on disc. Dragon Age Inquisition. I generally loved this game and still haven't completed it, but it's generally really good. Forza Horizon 2, that's a really, really good game and a good addition to the sequel. Going back, a game that's come out for a long time ago, but Diablo 3, but it made its return on next gen, which was nice. Battlefield 4, that's a really, really good game to start off with for next gen. I have to admit though, it looked better on PS4, but we'll see what you guys think. And then Transformers Rise of the Darkspot. Now, they're the games that I've played generally by, disc format, which, is neither here nor there. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, and generally, they're the games that I would recommend the most if you was to buy a game to start off with. If you're a hardcore gamer and you've been playing Xbox One for a while, I definitely recommend you buy different games and newer games that have come out. They're just the games that I've, played over a while, so they some of them are quite old, and you've got games like Far Cry which are relatively new. So yeah, so that's that. Moving on to the final piece is the Kinect. Now, the Kinect is quite a tricky thing to kind of understand every little thing that it can do, and this isn't a review on everything that the Kinect can do, because I've been told loads of different things that it can do, and what it can't do, and so forth. But it's a 1080p camera. So that's good. So when you're streaming or whatever, you've got good graphics, always on the go. It's generally it's quite big, I think, to its predecessor. I generally think that the last one that they had, the last Kinect, was kind of quite thin, and I didn't actually like the design of the last Kinect, actually. I really like this kind of bulky feel to it. I mean, it really matches the system itself. And I generally think it's much better, and it's really good at voice commands. I've had some minor issues where I've been going Xbox on and Xbox off, and Xbox record that, Xbox, and so forth, and YouTube and all that. I've had a few minor errors. I've had people who have said that, it never works for me, and sometimes it does and doesn't. But generally for me, I generally think that it's worked, probably 85% of the time. So, don't always expect it to, listen all of the time. And also if you're thinking of buying a Kinect and you haven't before, and you've just bought the Xbox One on its own, you kind of need a fair bit of space, like at least I would say 2 to 3 meters or 2 meters away from your TV for it to generally have a good pickup of the room, because I mean it's generally really annoying if you've got like a really, really small room. You obviously need it, relatively close, but it does zoom in onto you and does have face recognition, and will, almost put a square around your face so it, can lock onto you if you're ever doing anything like that. So, and it will zoom in and zoom out if you're on something such as Skype or something like that. So yeah, generally that's the Kinect, and for an extra, I don't know how much it is, I think it's an extra £100. Would I recommend it with the system? Yes, if you like I said, all of the other apps, such as Skype and stuff like that. But if there's the odd 1 or 2 games out there that use this feature, but it's not really, the Xbox One hasn't had a long enough cycle to be able to give you a lot of games that require the Kinect. So I mean, there's games such as Forza Horizon 2 where you can talk and it'll set a waypoint and such, stuff like that. There's the odd voice command here and there on a couple of games, but not anything major. So for now I would say at least wait another, I don't know, your best wait in another half a year to just see what comes out and what requires to it, because it's every Xbox One and PS4 have been out for a fair while now, but neither of the systems have so much to show that you'd know every mortal thing about it. So it's definitely one of them things that you want to just wait and see what they bring to the table, because 360 and PS3 over their life cycle that they've been around, they've shown so much, but you wouldn't have known any of it at the very start, and that's what this is. It's quite an early cycle in this stages. So yeah, so that's my review on the Xbox One. I generally think it's a good console, and like I said, I'll be reviewing the PS4. I have to get both. I guess I'm a little bit of a nerd like that. I'm also a PC gamer, so yeah. But generally, yeah, the Xbox One, I've had really, really good fun with it, and I hope to see many improvements in the future with it. I generally really, really like it. So, yeah, I would recommend it to anyone who's an Xbox fan, I guess, or just anybody who wants to try out a new console. So, yeah, that's my full review on the Xbox One, and this is Philip G signing out.